what is an agent? I'm going to do a quick overview of what an agent is in the SpeechSage AI platform and how you can manage it. In this example, I'm going to use one called Noah's Little Buddy. And to go in and edit them, it's pretty simple. You just click the edit button and you can give it a name. This is very much for yourself, for reference, and a description for if you have different services, different use cases. You can edit the description to be modified based off of what you intend for the agent to be used as. Now, when creating an agent, you almost should think of it as creating a little bit of a human to a small extent. You have to give it a personality, an expected outcome for how you want your agent to respond, and any sort of instructions or requirements that is necessary for it to perform its duties properly. That's where the system instructions come in. This is a little bit of a game of trial and error where you can give it some basic instructions. You give it an identity, you tell it who it is. You need to give it some particular instructions as to how it should respond. In this example, we have the feature where we can give emotion in our responses, and so we have some what we call emotion tags. Some of these things you may know, other things you might not. In terms of formatting, a lot of these things are just things that make the voice agent respond in a manner that sounds like a human. And in this example here, we are actually allowing the user to book an appointment on our Google Calendar. In this example, we give it the instructions on how a conversation should flow if the user is wanting to book an appointment. And here we also provide some examples of what a successful interaction with a caller would look like. We give it a personality, as I said, some different things about the agent and some things that it should know about. And sometimes what you may find through the process of trial and error are a way in which it responds that works well or maybe doesn't work well. If you find an error in the way that it responds, sometimes it's very, very useful to just add explicit reminders or repeat yourself in your instructions to really emphasize an action that you do not want it to take or you do want it to take. Sometimes the repeating process is what really makes a prompt work really, really well. And then there also are these things called prompt injection variables. These are denoted by curly braces. Be very careful when using curly braces in your prompt, as those are what get injected at the runtime. We see here there's a few different curly braces injections that can be injected at runtime. If you have more questions about these, or you're wondering why particular curly braces may appear for your agent but don't appear for someone else's agent, contact us and we can help you with that. The other big part that really makes a big difference with the voice AI is the audio, the voice, how it flows. As you can see here, we do use Cartesia for a voice provider.
This is SpeechSage. How can I help you?
You can preview the voices by clicking the play buttons. If you want to change the voice, let's say you want it to be female. We'll say a friendly, warm female voice. And if you use our AI search, you can try to find some descriptors that match those voice characteristics.
This is SpeechSage. How can I help you?
Pretty friendly.
This is SpeechSage. How can I help you?
Now, if you see this tag where it says emotive, that means that this voice is trained in a way that makes it possibly very expressive. That may be very, very useful for your use case where you can want it to sound more and more like a human. The only problem with the emotive is sometimes it can act really weirdly in rare circumstances that really doesn't make sense. But normally, though, the emotive voice tag works really well. There are a few other settings and options that are really useful for configuring your voice agent. Specifically for the inbound call, this is a start call greeting. When the call is being answered, this is what would play, and then when the call is being hung up, that is what would be played for the end call message. And then if you want it to forward a call to a particular number, it's super easy to set it up here. You can just set up your number you want it to call to, and then give it the AI, the instructions for when it should be transferred to that number. like what are the requirements and when it should be transferred to. If you want to get a summary at the end of the call, you can set up your email here or even a SMS message as well. And if you want agentic SMS replies, where if you want people to be able to text your AI agent, you can just enable this option as well. If you have different integrations with your organization, such as, a particular calendar booking appointment that you want the information to be accessible to, you can set those up there and enable them as desired. That's a quick rundown, quick overview of how this works. And if you have any questions, please reach out.